Can you feel that? Yes, can you feel what's about to happen on this field, man? Can you feel what we about to get into, dog? And it ain't gonna be getting to ourselves. We're gonna dig into somebody else, man. So whenever you in that doggone game, whatever you gotta do to get whatever that's in you out to come out and play your behind on, let me get you. They don't respect us. They don't know what let's dominate this thing. Hold in on 3. 1, 2, 3, hold it.
All About the Birds welcomes you to the live pregame show.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the West End for the All About the Birds pregame show as the Eagles go right back to New Jersey to play the New York Jets.
Boo.
Woo-hoo! Are you cheering the Jets or the fact that there should be a win today, sir?
There should be a win.
It should be a win today, indeed.
We said that last week, too.
And as promised on the Wednesday show, if Gardner Minshew was starting today, I would rock the Minshew look. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am Chip, a.k.a. Chipner Minshew. Here, I am one of the hosts. I am joined on this side by Johnny, and this is Mike. Welcome to the West End. We have about an hour show to talk about all things Eagle-related before they go to their bye week next week and all the drama that will ensue if Minshew plays even half decently.
When?
Mike, good morning. Johnny, good morning. How are we feeling today?
I've been ready for this since week 2, man. Because it's Minshew Mania time. This is what I wanted. I wanted Minshew Mania in Philadelphia. I don't care. Say whatever you want. You never know. I'm happy. And I do want to say, so he doesn't glaze over it, happy birthday to our host, Chip.
Happy birthday,
Let's say happy
Chip.
birthday.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And happy birthday to
Appreciate
Chip.
it.
30-something years old today.
35.
35. You don't look a day over 34.
I look magnificent. I look magnificent. This is a look. And the wife I know is very happy about this look. She made sure to put my Venmo all over the place so I could get some housing this evening. So we're good.
You can stay with us.
So, Johnny, how you feeling this morning, buddy?
I'm feeling pretty good. I know Mike is the one that's super ecstatic for Gardner Minshew.
Yeah.
But, you're playing the Jets. The Jets are a bad football team. And you have a quarterback that, is a better passer than Hurts. I will give him that. He is a better passer than Hurts. But this game should be an easy win. There should be no way the Eagles lose this game. But I'm feeling pretty good. Get the 6 and 7. You got your bye, and then we go from there.
Yeah. So, here's the big thing. The Eagles are currently, they're under 500. But as we move forward, the big thing is going to be what happens over this bye week, depending on what happens today. Now, Mike, I know since the beginning of the season, you have been very excited for all things Gardner Minshew.
True.
What does Gardner Minshew provide that Jalen Hurts in his first couple games of this season has not been able to do?
I go back to a show that we did maybe a month or so ago. Mm-hmm. And Chip, something that you said really resonates. And this is part of the reason why I am a Gardner Minshew fan.
Thank you so much.
You said Jalen Hurts is not that good of a passer. When you are the quarterback of an NFL team, you should be a good passer. Gardner Minshew is a much better thrower of the football than Jalen Hurts. I mean, maybe he can be at some point in time. We haven't seen it yet. I've seen nothing but regression from Jalen Hurts in the passing department. Everyone's like, oh, he's a baller. That's great. I don't care about that. Well, they're only throwing the ball like 14 times a game. So I think. And
to be fair, when they throw more than that, the Eagles are pretty much guaranteed to lose the game.
It would appear so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think today we're going to see a lot of balance. I think you're going to see a lot of Miles Sanders. You're going to see a lot of Boston Scott. I think you're going to see a lot of Kenneth Gainwell, to be honest with you.
I know Johnny's excited about that.
We should be excited about Kenneth Gainwell.
I think the Kenny Gainwell thing is real big because our guest on Wednesday night, Will Parkinson, he
was fantastic, by the way.
Very good. If you haven't checked it out, make sure you check that one out. But he mentioned about the Jets and how they cover the running back, and they struggle with covering running back out of the backfield. What's perfect with Kenny Gainwell, who's great at catching the ball in the backfield. Mm-hmm. You saw it at the last drive against the Giants last week. He get a couple catches, but Minshew should be able to, use the running backs and to be able to use the weaknesses of the Jets defense against them.
You would think so. Now, as I'm going over the official show sheet that Mike provided, I want to discuss the one phrase in one of the bullet points that you put, the injured and injury-prone Jalen Hurts. Do you want to discuss that? Because by the way, considering we're talking about injury-prone, happy 75% day if Carson Wentz plays 100% of the snaps today, we will get our first round pick. So look for some Wildcat with Naheem Hines. How do you go about what's that? Yeah, on the third snap of the
Don't
game.
do that to me, sir.
Yeah.
Come on now.
I said the same thing. Do it for the snaps. Yes, indeed. The wife's messaging from right over there. So what do you mean by injury prone? Often injured. Are you just trying to be funny, sir? Are you trying to be whimsical?
So, I've always been a big Carson Wentz supporter. And everyone would always be like, oh, he's injury prone. Well, every player is injury prone. So now every time somebody gets hurt, I immediately go on Twitter and say so-and-so is injury prone. That's just me being a jerk.
Oh, so you're just trying to start stuff. Got it. Excellent.
Yes,
Wonderful.
I'm an Eagles fan. That's what I do. That's what we're supposed to do. No one likes us. We don't care. Remember? That's what it's all about.
There was a song on his shirt about that.
There was a beer about that as well, made by Broken Goblet. It wasn't that good.
Okay. So Johnny, let me ask you, because you have been on the Jalen Hurts train for a while.
Hop on off, Johnny.
You have been on the Jalen Hurts train for a while.
Yes.
Obviously, the expectation is that regardless of who the quarterback is, the Eagles are going to win today. If Gardner Minshew goes out and plays stellar, once again, do we have a quarterback controversy in Philadelphia?
I believe they do not. And,
Good.
And the reason I'm saying it is Jalen Hurts has an ankle. So his big asset is running the ball and using RPOs and what the offense has been doing the last couple of weeks. When Gardner Minshew goes in, if he has a good game, that's all well and good.
And he should have a good game.
He should, no doubt. And you look at the offense and how it's going to be run and everything, that's fine. But Jalen Hurts needs to get healthy. He has an ankle injury. You have a bye week after this week, and then you have Washington, the Giants, then Washington and Dallas. So you need to have him healthy, not because my one thing is it's that MetLife turf is awful. There's
It
no
really
give.
is.
And I was listening on Monday night, Brandon Graham's show. He was talking about it because they asked him about that and a couple injuries and stuff they had. And he said there's no give. There's absolutely no give at all in that field than there is with grass or other artificial turfs. So Jalen Hurts has a bum ankle. You don't want him running, trying to cut on a hard surface like that and re-injure or make it even worse. So give him time, let him heal up. And then, you go into Washington, Jalen Hurts is going to be the quarterback. But my one question is, does it make Jalen Hurts, if Gardner has a great game, does it make Jalen Hurts' leash shorter? If he happens to have a game like the New Jersey.
No, you're right. The New Jersey.
The New York Giants game.
Yeah.
I'm just have that pose that question as well.
Bobby Thomas coming in. Gardner mustache mania Minshew, time to shine. Yes.
I'm loving it.
Listen, I committed to this while the wife was asleep on Wednesday, so she had no say. She's super excited about that. Wait, who's over there?
No, Adam.
Oh, I know. So yeah, I mean, look, they're for so long, and honestly, even before the Nick Foles winning a Super Bowl thing, there has been such a
Thanks again, Nick.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate you, Nick. He's the real Saint Nick. There's been such a love and fascination with the backup quarterback position. It's why the last guy didn't work out, because the name on the bottom was more revered than the one on the top. So I think that we're sitting here, we're 8 minutes into the show, and we've done nothing except talk about Gardner Minshew, the backup quarterback.
Let's keep it going.
Let's keep it going. But the thing is that Jalen Hurts has provided a body of work that should at least give him the opportunity to finish out the season. But now, here is my bigger question. And Johnny, I'm coming to you first because you're more of the salary cap guy. I know I can come to you with a fantasy question, which I will.
Absolutely.
Bigger salary cap numbers next season, correct?
For who?
For the NFL.
Yes, it's going to be 208.3.
Okay. Knowing what's happening in the draft, which is nothing really exciting quarterback-wise.
Wrong.
No.
Sir.
That's
Sir.
That's a topic for another
That's
show.
a topic for another show. All right. Is
Brown.
the Eagles quarterback of the future, and when I say the future, I'm saying the next 5 to 7 years, currently on the roster?
Next 5 to 7 years?
The next 5 to 7 years on the roster.
Right now, it's hard to say it.
Nope, you have to commit. You have to commit. You're on the air. You have to commit.
I have to commit.
There's no politicians here. You have to give me a yes or no answer.
I'm going to say no.
Ooh, here we go.
But I'm not saying that can't change.
Yes.
Hey.
There is a very
Sir, you're right back on the fence.
There's a possibility that Jalen Hurts is the starting quarterback next year.
He should be.
Well,
He should be.
I can't say that either. I want to see how the rest of the season goes, but we need to see progress as a passer. We have to see it. We haven't seen it. I will say this, Nick Sirianni is doing a great job right now, but he's hiding his quarterback because he has to. You cannot continuously.
Is he hiding his quarterback, or is he doing what he said at the very introductory press conference? And it is play to my players' strengths, not basing it on a system.
It could be both.
Yeah.
It very well could be both.
Okay.
You have to hide a quarterback that has limitations such as Jalen Hurts. And unfortunately, to sustain winning in the NFL, you can't hide any of your skill players. You just can't. I mean, look at the NFC Championship game against the Vikings. Doug Peterson, he and Frank Reich, they let Nick Foles throw the ball all around the football field. They had confidence in their player. I do not see that confidence in Jalen right now when they're only throwing the ball 15 times a game.
I think my biggest thing to see today, and maybe it's good to see Gardner in there, is to see how Nick Sirianni runs an offense with somebody that's not a running quarterback
and
not someone that's very
Right.
skillful.
Will he
I like
change
that,
the
yeah.
game plan? That's a good point.
And that's a big thing to see. How much do they run the ball? What do they do? Do they go pass heavy? Do they, are they a
Devontae
50-50
Smith
split?
is
It's
eat
something that we
today.
want to see. And it is an interesting aspect of the offense to see how Nick Sirianni runs the offense with a quarterback like Gardner Minshew in there.
Yeah.
So Johnny Higgins, one of our great followers, buddy of mine from way back, says, look, we've passed up on quarterbacks last draft, and there were some good quarterbacks, although turning out that Mac Jones is going to be the best one as of right now.
As of right now, yeah.
As of right now. And have assets this offseason. Again, after today, it'll be 3 first-round draft picks. Knock on wood. Stop passing up on the opportunities. So, but again, is this the opportunity for a different – I mean, I don't know if Minshew is the guy. I don't think Minshew is the guy. I don't know if Jalen Hurts is the guy. From a leadership perspective, absolutely.
My only thing is, if there's no franchise quarterback coming out of the draft, and yeah, I understand you have 3 first-round picks, but do you just take a guy to take a guy, and you wind up?
And that's my
the
problem.
thing is, you wind up ending up with a Josh Rosen type, that kind of quarterback.
Oh.
That's the only thing you don't, or a Paxton Lynch, or something along those aspects. You don't want that.
No, you don't. And let's call it like it is. The Saints right now are a bad football team because they have no quarterback at the helm. They don't. Trevor Siemian is not the right guy. You saw that. And you definitely saw that Taysom Hill, who they just signed to an extension, is not going to help this football team.
It's terrible.
No.
So at some point, your quarterback does have to pass the ball. Now, with all that being said, I don't think that Gardner Minshew is anything but a journeyman backup quarterback. And Johnny Higgins is saying the same thing.
He's
Jeff
Garcia.
I love Jeff Garcia. I don't know if that's the so Johnny Higgins is saying I don't think Minshew is the guy. Jeff Warner is excited for Minshew time. Jeff, what's up, buddy?
How you doing, Jeff?
And Bud Bauer, aka Pops,
That's my dad.
says Hurts has had his opportunity. Hurts has had opportunities for sure. Not a fan. If no improvement, out he goes.
But what if Minshew has like a type of season ending of the season like Bobby Hoying had? Sorry, I had to bring that up. I had to bring it up.
And
This gentleman over here.
my friend at the bar loved that analogy. Yeah, I mean, and that's concern is that you're putting all your eggs into one basket. Look, I don't think that there's a quarterback in the draft that is better than Jalen Hurts right now. So therefore, using one of your first 3-round picks is not a good choice. Now, looking at some of the free agency that they're saying, hey, well, let's bring these guys in. Again, Russell Wilson is starting to age, which means he's slowing down.
He's not aging very well either.
He's not aging well.
Not at all.
Deshaun Watson has way too many issues. I doubt he ever plays in the NFL again.
I hope he doesn't.
Aaron Rodgers is old, so unless this team is ready to win right now, which it is not, that is not a good value. So you give Jalen Hurts the rest of the season. You give him next season. If there's no improvement, then you draft a guy in a quarterback-rich draft class the next offseason. Any objections to anything I said?
I do have just one counterpoint. If Jalen Hurts is not the quarterback that you want running this type of offense, he could probably be traded for a good haul.
Mhm.
And you can do something. And a lot of teams are going this approach now. You have a guy in there like Gardner, you win while rebuilding. If he's a better fit for your system, and you're not anticipating going anywhere with him, then why not? You get guys, all your skill positions, more experience with a quarterback that's a better fit.
Right.
That's better down the road. And then you could draft somebody. There are some guys that I like in this draft, not first round talents, mind you, but guys that might be good, second, third round pick guys that could develop into something.
Right, exactly. So Johnny Higgins commenting in, Justin Herbert didn't have a top 10 grade. He's turning into a great passer. He went top 10. Right, he's great. You could get a Josh Rosen, but that doesn't mean Hurts' arm can improve. Right. The big thing is that even in the beginning of the offseason, beginning of training camp, Nick Sirianni said flat out, hey, we got to fix this guy. His mechanics are off. We got to start from the ground up. And let's be honest, sitting here week 13, the mechanics haven't gotten better.
No.
They've regressed at times when he needs to fix things.
The thing that really surprised me the most about Jalen Hurts, and this is one thing I never expected, is that when it's crunch time, he doesn't deliver. And I understand that Jalen Reagor should have caught that pass.
I don't necessarily agree with that.
Let's not forget the last time everyone's talking about Jalen Hurts' college performance. He went to Alabama, he went to Oklahoma. The last time Jalen Hurts played in a collegiate football game, he was benched in the playoffs as a quarterback for Oklahoma.
The only reason why we lost, I'm trying to remember the opponent we played, and he took the ball in the fourth quarter, drove it down. The only reason why we lost that game is because he didn't have the ball last. It was 2 weeks.
The Chargers.
The Chargers game, right? He stepped up in crunch time, right?
Yeah.
So I don't necessarily agree with that blanket statement. I think he's a good leader. I think he's a good athlete.
Somewhat agree.
I just need him to be a good quarterback. All right, I want to pause. We've spent 15 minutes talking about Gardner Minshew versus Jalen Hurts.
About the matchup.
That's a Wednesday show. We are playing the New York Jets, the gosh darn Jets today.
Boo.
We're going to do our official picks in a little while. This is going to be a win unless the wheels fall totally off. Johnny, play in and out. Who is on the inactive list for both teams, please and thank you?
So for the Jets, Trevon Wesco, which is their number 2 tight end.
Who?
LaMichael Pirine, which I know
who
Mike is a little bit, it hurts him a little bit there.
Does it Jalen hurts him?
Oh, jeez. There we go.
You're lucky it's your birthday, man. Seriously.
Yes, I am.
The offensive lineman Isaiah Williams, defensive lineman Tim Ward, defensive lineman Sheldon Rankins.
That's actually that's a big one for them.
And safety Jared Wilson, and cornerback Rashad Wild Goose.
Oh man, Wild Goose ain't playing.
But
Wild Goose ain't playing, y'all. Great name.
That is for the New York Jets. And
no one cares. Now talk about the Eagles.
So the Eagles, of course, it's Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts is not playing today. Again, this is groundbreaking news.
So it's Reed Sinnett
as the backup to the backup.
Then you have, I didn't have the inactives list up, but you have Mac McCain, you have Tay Gowan, you have Kerry Vincent Jr., Jordan Howard, and then Marlon Tuipulotu. So basically, Jordan Howard and Jalen Hurts are the big ones. The other guys are just
Driscoll's a big one too.
Driscoll going on IR. So now you're going to have a new offensive line once again. I think Herbig has stepped in and played well,
except for those 2 penalties.
Except for the penalties that pulled points off the board. I think that a week to prepare is better for him.
Yes.
So again, Jalen Hurts, Jordan Howard, Kerry Vincent Jr., Tay Gowan, Mac McCain, and Marlon.
They did elevate Jared Maiden, safety, from the practice squad. So he'll play special team snaps there. But I just think that you look at no Jordan Howard, Miles Sanders. Needing to feed him the ball. I
want to talk about the Jordan Howard thing for a second, because the team with Jordan Howard over Miles Sanders, and I don't think this is being talked about enough, is Miles Sanders actually the guy moving forward. Jordan Howard moving when he had the ball and he was in, they ran the ball a lot. The very first game that Miles Sanders comes back and Jordan Howard's not playing, they abandon the running game. And I know that Miles Sanders got hurt, so you trusted Boston Scott. Is there any chance that this is the last season that Miles Sanders is a Philadelphia Eagle for the choice of Jordan Howard?
No. He's under contract next year. I think he at least finishes out his contract.
Okay.
But I mean, Johnny and I talked about this one day. They run the ball pretty well with guys like Jordan Howard and Boston Scott. But then the problem is, if Jordan Howard misses a game, do you want Boston Scott to be your lead back?
I do not. I do not want. Here's the thing. Miles Sanders was back, so there was no reason for Boston Scott to be the lead back.
The good news is, the very, very good news is, if you decide to trade Miles Sanders, let's say, and you get something, this running back class is not as bad as people are making it out to be.
Jerome Ford, is that where you're going at?
No, not Jerome Ford. If we're talking about a 3-down back, you could have guys like Breece Hall, Isaiah Spiller. There's a lot of guys out there.
Hold on, Bobby. It's the Gardner Minshew vibe. It's Gardner Day.
Come on, Bobby. Get it together, man.
It's Chipner Minshew Day, y'all.
I got the shirt.
I like the Jim McMahon, though. McMahon vibe. You got the.
Well, it's because I have all the throwback Eagles stuff on. If Sanders wants a contract, then no. So Johnny Higgins is saying, look, if he's willing to, prove it to do something, then, get rid of him. But
No touchdowns this season for Miles Sanders.
none.
Running or receiving.
And
Not
I
that
know
they're
part
throwing
of that
the
was
ball to him.
injury, but
Right.
yeah. So are you telling me, and either of you gentlemen can answer this, are you telling me that the Lynch, the piece holding everything together in Philadelphia's offense is Jordan Howard?
It would appear so. I mean, right now it looks like it.
For me, with Jordan Howard, the thing is, if Miles Sanders can just stay healthy, the ankle,
Right. I'm not talking often injured.
That's the biggest thing. And you look at next year, if you're gonna get rid of him, you need to get rid of him for a decent compensation, because my feeling on it is he's cheap next year. 1.7 million is not a lot for a running back. So
True.
you got to be smart in that aspect of it. But I would bring Jordan Howard back. He's going to be cheap, a cheap deal. But this running game really needs to take that step. Kenny Gainwell coming out of the backfield, I think he needs to be active because he just brings a different
He
type of
can't
skill
not be.
set. Yeah, different skill set. And then Boston Scott does his job. He plays special teams. He does so many different things for you on offense. But I think today, looking at playing the Jets, these receivers with a beat up Jets secondary, and Will talked about it on our Wednesday
They're not
show.
good at stopping the pass, even when they're healthy.
And they've had former Eagles practice squatter Elijah Riley is most likely starting at safety. So for me, at that,
I think
you need to be able to exploit that secondary and to be able to get guys. Hopefully Jalen Reagor has a good game and overcomes it. But guys like Quez Watkins and guys like Dallas Goddard, and you have players like Devontae Smith, they have to have big games. And I'm hoping
They have to.
see
They
that.
have to step up today.
Especially going into the bye, you have a big confidence boost going into the bye, knowing you can move the ball, knowing these guys are, all these offensive weapons for you.
Yeah, I mean, I think that you have to at this point, because the onus is that Gardner Minshew is a better passing quarterback than Jalen Hurts. Devontae Smith has got to run good routes today and get open.
He will.
Quez Watkins has got to run good routes and get open.
He will.
Jalen Reagor has got to catch something.
He won't.
Jalen Reagor is one of the biggest disappointments I have ever witnessed in my entire life so far. The game that he had last week was abysmal. It cost us the game. Look, Jalen Hurts, who was terrible last week, still got this team in a position to win. You cannot drop both of those passes. You have to catch one of them. You have to catch one. So,
Why are you expecting anything different?
but he's a first-round draft pick, sir. I understand, but he's a first-round draft pick, so a little banter back and forth. Again, we are live at the West End. We do this every single away game, and I love it, man. That's the vibe that we get. So Jalen Reagor, who is a first-round draft pick, had less productivity last week than J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, who was another bum and a half. So out of those two, my fantasy question is, who should I start, J-Jaw or J-Reg?
I would just see if
I would just burn fantasy down.
Zach
Yep.
Pascal is on your waiver wire. Or something.
It's going to burn down fantasy.
Here's the thing, too. You look at a guy like Quez Watkins, and we're saying we want more out of these guys and blah, 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 and this and that. The problem is there isn't more to give these guys as far as targets because we're not throwing the ball a lot. But if you look at some of Quez Watkins' catches, he's coming back and jumping over defenders to catch underthrown balls.
They're bad throws.
So maybe this week is maybe we'll have a better gauge of where we're really at with our wide receivers. You know what I mean? Because we're saying we need more production from this guy. We need more production for this guy. Dallas Goddard.
Goddard has
Hurts
not lived up to his tight end one
is being
anointment.
Missed throws. Quez is getting underthrown. There's a lot of times. Reagor, he'll make a fantastic catch, highlight reel, and then he'll drop a simple pass. He can't even look the ball into his hand.
He made that catch at the end of the first half on the 2-yard line. That really, was a really good catch. And then, we knew what happened after the fact.
We do know what happened after
Look,
that. Yeah.
what basically needs to happen today is that the guys who have been kind of forgotten about in the passing game have got to be utilized due to the fact that there is an alleged passing quarterback starting for the Eagles today. Dallas Goddard has got to have a huge game because ever since trading Zach Ertz, which I still think was a mistake.
Second that.
Trading Zach Ertz was the purpose of, and then re-signing to an extension Dallas Goddard. The purpose was that Dallas Goddard is a tight end one in this league, and he has done nothing his entire career to prove it.
He's gotten hurt a lot.
He's gotten hurt a lot, which means he's a great Philadelphia Eagle, but it doesn't mean that he's a good tight end in this league. He is not a top tier tight end. So My question comes in, can Dallas Goddard have a big game today and shut people like me up?
I think it's possible.
I think
It's always possible, right? You
I
think
think it
maybe
could
it's a Tyree Jackson game?
Sir,
Or
sir,
Jack
it's a
Stoll game.
sir,
Okay,
sir. I'm the one who looks ridiculous, and the words coming out of your mouth are absurd,
Maybe it's a Greg Ward game.
sir.
Sorry, I had to.
Oh, you
I'm the one that looks ridiculous,
you
and you're
talk about drop passes. Greg Ward is
Yeah.
supposed to
but
be
Greg
Mr.
Ward,
Short-handed.
but Greg Ward is not supposed to be a key contributor in this offense.
But he's supposed to be the
Anybody who is
short-handed guy that
relying on
catches
someone like
anything.
Greg Ward to do a great job and lead this team to victory is delusional. Anyone who's expecting someone like J-Jaw to lead this team to victory
I'm
is
sorry.
delusional.
He's so upset right now. He's so animated, and he's dressed like that, and it's just the most ridiculous.
It's delusional.
the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen, and I love it. Thank you to the West End for having us today. This is great.
I just look, I really struggle with, and this is more of a Howie thing, picking up guys and demanding excellence when it is way above their ceiling.
I agree.
You know, we
Completely
expected Jalen Reagor to be a superstar Justin Jefferson stud of a wide receiver, but that was never his ceiling.
I just want a competent wide receiver out of
Yeah.
Jalen Reagor. Like
I
even if
want a
he's not
competent
superstar,
selection
competent.
from Howie Roseman at the wide receiver position.
Well, Devontae Smith is
Devontae Smith was a sure no-brainer.
Yeah, and the other thing I want to bring up though, I understand some of these guys aren't supposed to be key contributors, but again, on rosters across the league, there are players that contribute even though they're not known as big time key contributors. You do your roles. Basically, that's what it is. You do your roles. And there's one player that I saw this week, a guy like Marcus Epps. He got a lot of heat the last couple of years.
Yeah, but he's stepped
And
up.
He's one of the best
really has, yeah.
run defenders according to PFF. Now, I'm not sure how much that really means, but again, I've noticed it watching the games. He's played a lot better, and he knows this system. He knows this defense. And for me, the way the defensive coordinator, he's not playing a lot of defensive backs. He plays Marcus Epps. He trusts him. He's playing a lot better. Like that's what I mean. Like Greg Ward and all these other guys. You want these guys to be able to fill their roles and to be able to step up if need be. They're not supposed to be a focal point. They're not supposed to be an all-star. They're not supposed to be a Pro
But you got to
Bowler,
catch a ball
All-Pro.
that hits you in the face.
You have to catch. Greg Ward had a drop pass. A lot of them, you have the drop passes. It's frustrating because they can make that circus catch, that miraculous catch, but then they can't make the easy catch because they're either looking at what's in front of them and not really focusing. But that's why today's game can be very, very beneficial.
So
playing a team like the Jets.
I got to change topics entirely for a second because my buddy Jamar, aka JD from D Derby Network, who's a big college football guy, is in the house today. And there'll be a big announcement later on today or tomorrow involving my buddy over here. But the official college football playoff rankings have just been released. Cincinnati is at 4 as an undefeated team. They will be going up against the number 1 seed Alabama Crimson Tide because the college football playoffs is obsessed with Alabama.
It's a fix.
Even though Michigan dominated the Big Ten playoff game, Michigan versus Georgia in the other semifinal, which means the championship will be another SEC-only title game. So had to shout that out to Jamar, a.k.a. JD, a.k.a. Sir Oracle himself. I told you Cincinnati would make it, brother. I told you.
You're
Damn you,
ridiculous.
sir.
Are you okay?
I feel good about that, yeah.
That was lovely.
A couple key little tidbits. I'm gonna, go
Back
a
to
little
the back to the pros.
back to the Eagles.
And Andrew Silverman, I appreciate you, sir. My appeal is out of control. Turn down I can't see that with the shades on. Hold on.
So
Turn down
The fire, bro. Indeed.
So try sitting here.
a couple different tidbits I want to bring up with this game.
I love the word tidbits. Can you say that again?
Give me your bits, Johnny.
Tidbits.
Give me your bits of tids.
Bits of tids. Rushing streaks. So the Eagles have rushed for 175 plus yards in 5 consecutive games, the first time since 1950, which they did at 5 games. Philadelphia has also recorded 200 rushing yards in 3 straight games for the first time since 1978, which they did at 3 games. So there's a streak there. And I know Jalen Hurts isn't the quarterback, so the rushing game may take a little bit of a hit there. But do you see any of those streaks continuing?
I do. I think that the rushing attack has been mostly because of the superior play of the offensive line.
I agree.
And I do mean superior. The way Jeff Stoutland deserves to go into the Hall of Fame just for what he has done the last couple of seasons with this Eagles team. But they've gotten the team ready to run. They're like Bruce Springsteen up in here. They were born to run.
That was cute.
Thank you. And I think that they should be able to run the ball well. The question is, will they? Because Nick Sirianni having a passing quarterback, a lot of those rushing yards have come from Jalen Hurts himself. Will he commit to the running game today? I think that, and I had a tweet about this week, where the fascination with having backup quarterbacks throwing the ball over 40 times in their first starts usually results in a loss. I expect Gardner Minshew to throw the ball 45 times today.
Hey, a lot of play action, though.
Play action is one thing, but you have to establish the run game first.
I think they will. I think they have to.
Do that, but what he's asking is, do they rush for over 200 yards?
I don't think they rush for
175 or 200. One of those.
I think they're like right around 150. But there's another stat I put on the show sheet too. So the Eagles lead the NFL in rushing yards this season with 158 yards per game,
But
yet they have not had a single 100-yard rusher.
so they've spread it around.
Which you know what? I like that.
I'm fine with that. That's how you keep
Keep your
injuries
guys
to a
fresh.
minimum.
You keep the defense guessing. So I like that a lot. And I'm curious to see. I want to see if Kenny Gainwell gets some rushes today too. It's always
I think he
possible.
will get rushes. I think you will see him more in the passing game today,
I
because
agree.
you have seen Kenny Gainwell over the last couple of weeks forgotten about, as the rushing game was the centerpiece.
Yeah.
Even to the point of deactivation the 1 week.
Didn't like that.
I was fine with it. I also expected it to happen. Let's flip to the other side of the ball.
Okay.
The defense played out of their mind last week. Holding the Giants to 13 points, and the offense was totally unable to do anything. Today, you're facing a quarterback who might be just very slightly better than Daniel Jones in Zach Babyface Wilson. How do you beat Zach Wilson besides taking him over your knee and spanking him? Because that's how young he is.
Again?
What's that?
Again?
Sorry.
How
How do you beat Zach Wilson?
Get in his face? That's what you do with every rookie quarterback.
That's what you
Get
do
in
with
his
every
face.
quarterback.
And I do think, and Johnny might be able to speak on the Jets offensive line. I don't know if their line's good or not, but Hargraves needs to step it up. He had a hot start
Big
this
time.
season. Where have you been? Fletcher Cox. Although
Must
Fletcher Cox has been
step
playing
up.
better. Hey, maybe today's a Ryan Kerrigan game.
You
right?
stop it, sir. You
A little
stop it.
delusional there.
Josh Sweat. Although Josh Sweat was limited a little bit this week. He did have
Anytime you see Josh Sweat in the knee,
Yeah,
a little
that
bit
concerns
scary,
me.
just because of the issues he's had in the past. But to your point, talking about the Jets' offensive line, Mekhi Becton has been on IR since week 2. So George Fant is
Big
now
loss
the
for
left
them.
tackle. Morgan Moses, the former Washington football team tackle, is the right tackle.
He's been playing pretty well from what I've heard.
He's been playing well. He's not, he's a veteran. He's a veteran offensive lineman there. Elijah Vera Tucker is their one guard, which, they do like him. He's a young rookie out of USC. Connor McGovern, he struggled after that big contract from Denver. So he's a player to look, right in the interior. And then they've actually, Greg Van Roten has been their right guard, but they benched him last week, and it's been Laurent Duvernay-Tardif, the former Kansas City Chief offensive guard. So
Sure.
That was the guy that took a year off to go be a doctor during COVID. Yeah,
Ooh, a doctor.
that's pretty cool. I think he's from Canada.
He's from Canada,
Okay,
yes.
that's a pretty
And-
cool story, though. I will say that.
Their offensive line's they're not strong. You can get pressure, especially in the middle.
They don't have a great running game.
No, they do not.
They don't have any really standout players on their team.
It's important to say that their lead rusher, Michael Carter, is on IR.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great.
But they do have Tevin Coleman,
Who's a
veteran
good running back.
He's a solid running back. I actually wanted the Eagles to sign Tevin Coleman when he was a free agent, just because the veteran, whatever. This is before they brought Jordan Howard back. They have Ty Johnson, who's
Good. These guys are all good, but it's not. You haven't mentioned anybody that I am sitting here afraid of. Now, I'm not
If
going to
they
be
were
afraid of
on
a lot
another
of people
team, they
looking
would-
this way, but
if
I'm not
these
afraid of any of them.
guys- If they were on a different team, they wouldn't be playing. Let's put it that way.
Right, exactly. So, and I haven't followed this, and maybe you guys know this. Is the backup quarterback today for the Jets Joe Flacco?
Yeah, I believe Mike White is out. He's on the
Mike
COVID.
White is on COVID.
I believe it is. Joe
So
Flacco.
here's my
Should be
question.
Joe Flacco.
Because normally my goal is to knock out a starting quarterback to deal with the backup. Who are you more afraid of? Joe Flacco on his redemption tour in New Jersey, or Zach Wilson? Who are you more afraid of, Johnny?
I'm going to say Zach Wilson. I think Zach Wilson is better than Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco is not that good.
But I don't think Zach Wilson is that good. I think he played for a mediocre college program and got drafted way too high because the expectation is that if you're a bad team, you go ahead and draft a quarterback in the first 5 picks. I think he was overdrafted as well. And he's done really he's had some of the worst games from the quarterback position in the NFL this season. But then there's Joe Flacco.
Yeah, but again, Zach Wilson can move the pocket, can run a little bit. Flacco's just a stationary object back there. So,
True.
There's a stationary object here.
Well, yeah, that is very true. And he collected some money. So
I will say this: what people don't know is that Robert Saleh was a quarterbacks coach at one point in time under Brian Kelly.
Not just defense?
No, he's not just defense. A lot of these guys, I don't know. There was a coach that we had here. His name was Chip Kelly. I don't know if you know this. He was actually a defensive backs coach at one point.
Terrible.
Too. So
Absolutely terrible.
A lot of these guys are, they're cross-trained. So, you know what I mean? It's one of those things where I think Zach Wilson's good. Personally, in a game like this, I would be more afraid of Joe Flacco just because of the veteran guy. Sometimes it's all about what's in here and not about what you could do.
And
physically.
the fact that the Eagles were so willing to trade him.
Look, they made out okay on
They
that.
made out great. I have no issue with the trade. I'm just saying that the Eagles traded this guy during the season, which you don't see happen a ton.
And then I believe he started the next, or like
He started like 2 weeks later, and he played okay.
I started him in a DFS lineup too.
Of course you did.
I won like $3.
Well, I think that's a great segue.
Thanks,
so,
Joe.
fantasy.
Thanks, Joe.
I'm over here like ludicrous right now.
You have a question?
I would like to know what your fantasy takes for today's game.
For this game?
For this Eagles-Jets game.
Look.
Who should you sit? Obviously, Jalen Hurts. Who should you start? And who is going to have a monster, mamma jamma brother of a game?
I was on FanDuel before.
Sure.
Because I love the FanDuel app. It's sometimes quick money. They don't have anything on there for the Eagles. It's like all Jet stuff because they're thrown askew because of the whole Gardner Minshew thing.
Skew. That's a great word.
So
that's almost as good as Johnny's Tidbits.
I'm throwing Gardner Minshew into a ton of DFS lineups because he's cheap. He's only $4,000 on DraftKings. As far as your normal guys, I'm staying away from the Eagles running game because I'm a little concerned about Miles Sanders. I'm a little concerned about Boston Scott. Boston Scott did have an illness all week. He didn't practice, but he should be good to go. I'm okay with starting Devontae Smith. I'm okay with starting Dallas Goddard if I need to. Aside from that, these guys, for me, both sides of the ball are nothing but DFS guys for cheap or prop and parlay guys. I don't want anything to do with any of them in my regular lineups. Although I am starting Gardner Minshew in a few super flex spots because
why not? Because you know they're going to throw the ball today.
Because I needed somebody in there that has a pulse.
Over under, because I want to go back to this passing game. We know Nick Sirianni, his default is to throw the ball a lot. With Miles Sanders nursing an injury, although he's going to go, Boston Scott having not practiced a whole bunch this week due to an illness, Kenny Gainwell is really your only super healthy running back. They did not elevate anybody up,
which surprised me.
Very surprising. And you still expect to see Boston Scott in the return game because hey, we only have 2.5 running backs. Let's make sure one of them returns kicks because Jalen Reagor can't. Over under 40 pass attempts for Gardner Minshew today, Johnny. Over under 40 pass attempts, and that means he didn't get sacked. He actually threw the ball. 40 pass attempts. Over under.
I'm gonna go under.
Jeff Suda just walked up in here. What'd you say?
Hi, Jeff.
Thank you, brother.
I'm going to go under.
You're going under. You think they are actually going to commit to the running game?
Yes, he'll throw it 39 times.
39 times.
You're
39.
Awful. You're an awful human
over
being.
under 40 pass attempts for the Minshew Mania, who's running wild in MetLife.
I'm going under because if this game goes the way I want it to, it's going to be nothing but a ground game in the fourth quarter. Also, I'm making a prediction. I'm planning on seeing Jalen Reagor running the ball today. Well, why not?
Why?
Why not?
Why?
Why not?
Because he's averaging negative 12 yards per rush.
That is play design, but I think if we get
well, that's just because he called it that way.
I think if we get him, we do maybe some jet sweeps, maybe we do something where he's in Wildcat. They hand it directly off to him. He is fast, he is shifty, he does have raw athletic ability. Let's give him his confidence back and get him some positive yards going into the bye week. It's only better for him and it's only better for the team overall.
All right, so
you're welcome.
I'm taking the over. I think he does throw the ball.
What are we betting on it, Chip?
I've already put a mustache on my face. I cannot do anything else.
That's your fault for making them.
I know, brother. So I think he throws it anywhere between 43, 45 times. I really think they're going to just abuse the passing game because they have a new toy to play with. I want to talk about the thing that you just said, though, where it's giving Jalen Reagor his confidence back. Are we a football team designed to win, or are we a psychological-based franchise who's designed to make people feel better? Because every opportunity Jalen Reagor has had, he has squandered. So what is Nick Sirianni's goal here by giving Jalen Reagor the chance to run the ball? Because, well, he hasn't done very well lately. I'm coming at your throat, sir.
You got to do something. You got the guy on the team. He's not going anywhere. They're not trading him.
They can't. The trade deadline's passed.
Well, right, but I don't think they're trading him in the offseason or next year.
Neither do I. I think he hasn't done anything on paper that make people be like, hey, come on over here.
I was really hoping I saw like a mock trade on Twitter, like where they trade him for Brandon Ayuk straight up to the 49ers.
No, never happened.
I was hoping for it. I can hope, right?
Never going to get it. Never going to get it.
I got my wish today. Gardner Minshew is starting a game.
I know. I am going to have to mute you on Twitter.
I saw on the TV they fixed his sleeves.
They did fix his sleeves.
Thank you, Gardner, for fixing your sleeves because that was terrible.
So wait, I want to have a conversation about. Look, so the uniforms came out today, and the Eagles were going to wear their white jerseys and their black pants.
I love that. Yep. With the dark green helmet, I
love that look. The Jets are wearing all black,
and the end zones are all black.
Does anybody communicate with one another?
That means this is a funeral. This is where your TV viewing pleasure goes to die.
Well, to be fair, I had this circled on my schedule as no one should want to watch this game.
If we lose today, we should be excommunicated from the NFL. We should be going into the XFL in 2023.
The bad part is, even if they were 0-11 or whatever, 0-12, whatever, I would still watch because that's just how sick I am.
I can't not watch.
Exactly.
To be fair, we kind of do an Eagles podcast. We all kind of have to watch.
Oh, hey, speaking of having to watch, did you find out who the Penn State plays in the bowl game?
I do not know yet.
You said said we would know by noon today. It's afternoon today.
We will know. Okay. When we know, I will let you.
When we know, you'll know, brother.
He wants them to play the Las Vegas Bowl, which is 10:30 at night on New Year's Eve.
Stop it.
You're psychotic.
Stop it. All right, so look.
That's why I love you, Jay.
We have this game. The Eagles. Is this line accurate even after the Minshew news? Is this the most accurate line?
That I don't know. I can check it right now.
Check that out. So
probably not.
Historically, the Philadelphia Eagles, knock on wood, people, have never.
The Eagles are 5.5-point favorites.
So the line has actually changed. So the Eagles are 5.5-point favorites.
Yep.
To win this game,
and the over/under is 44.
And the over/under is 44. The Philadelphia Eagles have never, during the regular season, because who cares about preseason? We play them every year. Have never lost to the New York Jets. They are 11-0 all time. If the unthinkable happens, and I'm not even going to say it, but if the unthinkable happens, what do you do going into the bye week knowing that you have really blown an opportunity to win 2 huge games? Is this team at that point playing for next season, or are they still playing for the playoffs? If the unthinkable happens today at MetLife.
Well, they still mathematically have a chance, but realistically,
mathematically, the Detroit Lions have a chance going into today. Let me say that again. Mathematically, if a bunch of things happen today and a bunch of things happen next week and a bunch of things happen each week for the rest of the season, the Detroit Lions could still make the playoffs.
I kind of want it to happen.
Don't give me mathematically.
I kind of want.
You didn't
let
me finish.
Can I finish? Can I finish? I'm gonna let you finish.
So mathematically, they still have a shot, but realistically, I really think you losing to the Giants and the Jets. I really don't think you have any hope of them doing really anything at the end of the year with the teams that they're playing.
Fire Howie Roseman.
Just saying.
If they lose today.
If the Eagles lose today, you are saying that this is the reason why they fire Howie, who is back in the news again this week. That man gets more publicity than any GM in all of professional sports.
Because he's the general manager of the Philadelphia Eagles. If he was doing the same stuff as the general manager of the Texans, nobody would even know who he was. Let's be realistic about it.
Who is the general manager of the Texans?
Who cares?
Exactly.
So that's what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? It's one of those things. He is the Eagles GM. He is going to be in the news. And like I said on our show one week, the signings he does, extending Dallas Goddard, extending Josh Sweat in the preseason. Who else did they extend? Avonte Maddox. He's extending his guys. This is what keeps Howie Roseman in a job year after year. These little moves that make him look good like a general manager. Howie, you suck.
Howie, you do suck. So The tush you just saw in frame was Jeff Suda. He is putting out the prizes for the giveaway today. We have some West End material. I have to take off the shades for a second. We have got a body bag to put Howie Roseman in. No, that's not a body bag. The helmet is not for sale. This is provided by Templates. I do have business cards, though. You can get your own custom ordered one. It's a big football chair. So it's not for putting corpses in. Good to know.
Yeah.
So we have some West End hats. We've got some bouncy balls. We've got some bandanas. So if you're at the West End here in Quakertown, get your raffle tickets in. We got a lot of cool stuff to give away. And again, we do this every single away game. And who knows, we might sneak one more in if the last game of the season is indeed for the NFC East Championship. So we're coming up towards the end of the show. Let me look over this list here. Is there anything else we need to talk about? Alex Singleton's playing well. Agreed. I don't know if he's the linebacker of the future. Is he just let me ask, actually, I'm going to ask a very specific Alex Singleton related question. Is he a key member of this defense, or is he Ike Reese 2.0?
Ike Reese 2.0.
Thank you, Jamar.
I'm happy if he's Ike Reese 2.0.
I'm happy if he's Ike Reese 2.0.
He's good in a backup role. He plays
Absolutely.
special teams.
He's always on the field.
I don't want him starting. I would prefer Davion Taylor.
He's got 12 tackles, 8 solo in Davion Taylor's absence. Right, I'm saying moving forward, sir.
In all fairness, the defense has been attacking more.
They have been.
So, and he's a better attack linebacker. He's not a guy that he could just let the plays come to him because he's too small.
Yeah.
And he's not as athletic. He's not as good of a tackler as Davion Taylor is either. So I'm okay with Alex Singleton being an Eagle. I'm not okay with Alex Singleton being a starter long-term for the Philadelphia Eagles.
So has Davion Taylor done enough to earn future starts next season?
I think so.
I agree.
I agree with that.
I agree.
He's just going to keep getting better. I mean, he couldn't get on the field last year, but we saw there's a play. Check it out on YouTube. Type in Davion Taylor.
What's YouTube, brother?
Lamar Jackson. He chases Lamar Jackson down, which is not an easy feat to do. Lamar Jackson, he fast. He real fast. He's very fast. Also a better thrower than people make it out to be.
I ding Lamar Jackson. Look, I probably have some of the worst takes on Lamar Jackson because as soon as I say that he's not a great passer, he goes off for 450 yards. I don't think that Lamar Jackson is a consistently good passer, and that the Ravens offense really doesn't have a set identity on what they want to be.
I think the only thing with that is they've lost 4 running backs this year. So
right.
I think the offense is going to be different when you get your J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards, and those guys are back. So I think Lamar Jackson is still a weapon.
He's an MVP, so there's no
Absolutely.
question about his play. You know, Trace McSorley ain't the guy, so.
He's with the
I know. I just like saying Trace McSorley on this program.
By the way, Tyson Williams averaged over 7 yards per carry. He fumbles the ball one time, and he's never to be heard from again. What do you do?
Well, that's the same way that you saw Miles Sanders fumbles the ball, put to the back. You see the same way that Boston Scott fumbles the ball, push to the back.
Yeah.
You have got to give you got to give these guys a chance to redeem themselves. That's why you threw the ball to Jalen Reagor in crunch time and you hit him off the face. So what you do, you throw it to him again and hit him off the face. You have now seen consistently that Jalen Reagor can, when they say keep your eye on the ball, it doesn't mean literally. It doesn't mean literally let it hit you in the face. That's like what my now 8-year-old used to do. Keep your eye on the ball. He would close his eyes real tight. Like, not going to do it. That's Jalen Reagor. But I do. I think Alex Singleton is a good linebacker. But
I think the linebacker you're not talking about is T.J. Edwards,
who's been exceptional this season.
Yes,
I agree.
Absolutely. He's done very, very well, and glad he got his chance to show what he can do.
All right, we're going to play this real quick game before we get into our game predictions and our final locks. The Pro Bowl ballots are in full effect. Give me your 3, and you have to pick only 3 Philadelphia Eagles Pro Bowlers, and there are no duplicates. We'll go 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and we'll see if we can duplicate. Give me your case for your first Eagles Pro Bowler.
How do you want me to put anybody from this team on the Pro Bowl? Nobody on this team deserves to be on the Pro Bowl.
What?
Okay, so my first pick is Darius Slay.
All right, Devontae.
Nope, I already went first. Nope, you hold on. Darius Slay. Darius Slay is an NFL Pro Bowler. He is the second best corner in the NFL this season.
First in my heart.
No, Diggs is having a superior season.
No,
Right, but it's all statistically based. It's always statistically based. So Darius Slay is my first Pro Bowler. Johnny, Your first Pro Bowler?
I'll tell you my Pro Bowler. Once I tell you this, Darius Slay is better than Trayvon Diggs because Trayvon Diggs, yes,
I'm at
leads in
statistically.
interceptions, but he also leads the league in defensive penalties with 9. He leads the league in yards allowed with 728. He leads the league in yards after catch.
This has these stats like ready to go. Good Lord.
Fifth in receptions allowed at 43.
Yep.
Fourth most targeted, 71, and 134th in coverage grade and 189th in the.
So I
defensive
like
run
that
game.
I said Darius Slay and Johnny just proved my point.
So my guy is going to be Jordan Mailata.
Agreed. Mailata's a Pro Bowler for sure.
I want to say this. You're talking about that. Jason Peters would false start his way to the Pro Bowl every year.
What about
He would get there early.
Mike? I got one for you that you could use. You could always use Jason Kelsey, the best center.
Well,
in the
that's
league.
what Johnny Higgins just said. Johnny Higgins just said Jason Kelsey,
Yeah.
who is the
All right,
best
Kelsey's
center
my
in
guy.
football, and he is a Hall of Famer.
And we
I don't
saw
want to
how
hear
the
anything
team-
otherwise.
How the team looked when he was out last week.
Didn't look good.
No, not at all.
Didn't
Nate-
look good.
Hey, listen, I like Nate Herbig, and like what you said before, the week for him to prepare is huge.
Yeah.
But I like Nate Herbig as a guard, not a center.
But
And
not a Pro
backup.
Bowler, right?
Oh, he's
I
not a
agree
Pro
with
Bowler. no.
I agree with you. He fits the guard position a lot better than the center position.
Also,
Agreed.
Landon Dickerson has been playing much better lately.
But is he a Pro Bowler based on the segment we're doing?
No, I don't
Okay.
think- not yet.
So-
he could be at some point in his career, not yet.
Not yet.
Darius Slay,
Jordan Mailata.
Jordan Mailata, Jason Kelsey. We'll go one more. My next one, and it's easy. Jake Elliott is a Pro Bowl kicker this season.
Rick Lavano.
Talk about a rebound season. He has played and kicked exceptionally when given the opportunity. Jake Elliott should be a Pro Bowler.
Sean Bradley.
A Pro Bowler?
Special teams. The special teams position.
The Ike Reese Pro Bowl position. Got it.
exactly. He's always in on every play. If you look, number 54 is always there.
So you have the entire rest of the roster to pick your last Pro Bowler.
Long snapper. Go ahead.
Yeah, I did say Rick
The
Lavano
punter.
before.
How about the punter and Sipos?
He's been good. He's been very good.
He had one game early in the season where he was pretty bad. But then again, this is his first season ever, I think, playing football, right?
Is the Aussie rules somewhere?
Yeah,
No,
like,
he
but
was. I think it was the Australian rules football he played.
that's not real
So,
football.
No, it's not real football.
Yeah,
but
No, the punter, Aaron Sipos.
Yeah, there's only one real football, and that's
No,
the
We already
NFL.
put him on the Pro Bowl.
yeah, he's on there.
He's on.
So
We're good.
no one is taking Jalen Reagor as a Pro Bowler, is what I'm hearing.
You stop it.
No one's taking Jalen Hurts as a Pro Bowler. No one is taking
You also have to look.
Dallas
though.
Goddard as a Pro Bowler. No one is taking Javon Hargrave as a Pro Bowler.
Yeah.
Hargrave he's tapered off a little bit.
He's
That's
so
not part
up
of the
and
season.
down. That's
Yeah.
the problem.
Oh, also coming out of the tunnel, I'm surprised that Jalen Hurts made the trip to
Well,
New Jersey.
because they were testing him today. They tested him to see if he could go, and then, but unfortunately, Derek Gunn broke the news last night to
was gonna
spoil
say.
everybody's fun.
Yes.
All right, so we have a couple minutes left. Let's do our Uleka lock prediction. Hit that button.
Wait, hold on.
Wait. We're gonna do our Uleka lock prediction as soon as Mike finds the button. Ready? Hit that button.
It's time for the Uleka Locks of the week. Who's your lock?
All right, so the Uleka lock segment is we make a prediction. Very nicely done. We make a prediction based on something that we think is going to happen. We did this on our Wednesday night show. So, Johnny, do you want to recap?
I will recap.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, did I already make a lock?
Yeah.
You
All right,
did.
good.
You did
I
make a
forgot what
lock.
it
Even
was.
though you were the winner of last week's Call a Locksmith Award because your prediction was so bad.
That was really bad.
It was so bad.
Horrendous.
We'll start with Mike. Mike picked the Saints to beat Dallas, which did not happen on Thursday.
That did not happen.
I
yeah.
actually said that out loud.
You said that on
Oh my
out
God.
loud and on recorded.
I should probably sell all my podcasts.
Yeah, you are.
Now.
You definitely so
That
far are
was
the
bad.
front runner for the Call a Locksmith Bad You Like a Lock Pick
Can I
Award.
Can I have a minute and pick something else?
You can, but what are you doubling down
Here's
on?
my lock. Ben Roethlisberger will retire after the season.
That's not a lock. He
Book it.
said he was going to do it.
Lock it up.
So, Chip, you had Arizona winning by 17 today.
I still think that's the case.
And then I have Denver getting 2 interceptions and 4 sacks against the Chiefs tonight.
Got it.
I have another lock.
You can have one more, sir.
Gardner Minshew starts for the Eagles today.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, one more. The Eagles and Jets will play today.
Oh, well, I don't know. Bane could still come out of the tunnel. All right, so we have to make our official Philadelphia Eagles, New York, aka New Jersey Jets predictions. Score and all, and something big that could happen. So, Mike, since you are the reigning Call a Locksmith Award winner, what gonna happen today?
So I have the Eagles winning 28-17. I do not think the Jets score 17 offensive points. I'm actually calling a pick 6 by Gardner.
I think it happens early.
Yeah, I do too. And then I feel like he settles down after that. 28-17. I think we're also going to see a very balanced offense. I'm hoping so. You should do that with your backup quarterback. You know what I mean? Don't ask him to do too much too soon. So 28-17 Birds. Let's get this W 12-0 against the Jets.
Johnny.
So I think the Eagles defense will be able to stifle the Jets.
Go ahead. Keep getting your fill. Go ahead.
That fills me with joy.
The Eagles will win 28-13. I think Gardner has a good game. I think they run the ball. I think Miles Sanders will get his first touchdown today.
Let's go.
So
book it.
I think
You
it's going to be a good game. Going into the bye week with a win, 6-7, I think it's going to be a good game for them.
All right. I am picking the Philadelphia Eagles today, 31-10. I think it is a stomping in MetLife. I think that Gardner Minshew causes controversy over the next couple of weeks. I think the Eagles defense absolutely dominates this pathetic dumpster fire of a Jets team. I think Zach Wilson goes crying to his mommy, who is not the nicest person in the world. I have the Eagles winning today, 31-10 over the gosh darn New York Jets.
Happy birthday, Chip.
Happy birthday to me, brother. I know, I'm ridiculous.
I love
it. Again, we want to thank all of you for tuning in. We want to thank everybody here at the West End. This is your last chance to put your raffle tickets in. We got a lot of cool prizes, and we're going to announce as soon as we go off the air the winners of that. We do this every single away game. So next week, obviously, is the bye week. I think we are away at Washington the next week.
We are not.
No, we are at home. So after the bye week, it's at home against the Washington and the Giants, and then it's at Washington.
Got it. So we'll be back in a couple of weeks. But as always, we have a lot of great programming on the AAT Sports Network. Make sure that you are checking it out. We have live programming most nights of the week, so you are liking, subscribing, and sharing. And if you are in the Quakertown area or feeling like going for a drive, you are stopping here at the West End, which is right above my head. Johnny, don't look now, but you have a bird behind you.
It's a bird of prey as well.
I hate all of you.
You should.
So again, I am Chip, a.k.a. Chipner Minshew today. This is Johnny. This is Mike. As we end every single show here on the AAT Sports Network with a rousing West End only. Go Birds! Come on, bro.